I've been playing games since 1995. Over the last 30 years, I've watched video games change more than I ever imagined. I've seen cartridges become CDs, CDs become DVDs, DVDs become Blu-ray, and now we're moving towards the future where many games may never exist on physical media at all. Sony recently announced another step away from physical games. Whether you agree with that decision or not, it made me stop, think about something much bigger. What happens when physical games disappear? For me, holding a game cartridge is a feeling that's hard to describe. Knowing that the entire game is right there in your hands, that no one can take it away from you, is something special. You can play it, display it, lend it to a friend. Years later, you can plug it back into your console and it's still there. This gave me the same feeling, different formats, same experience. Digital games are different. In many cases, you truly don't own them. They're tied to an account, an online service, or a storefront that may not exist forever. We already seen digital games disappear from online stores. Licenses expire, servers shut down, games become unavailable. That's something that worries me. The more I cover PC ports for compilation projects and texture packs on this channel, the more I've realized that game preservation is incredibly important. These projects aren't just about making old games look prettier, they're about keeping them playable. They're about making sure they continue to exist. One day, I would love to have kids of my own, and if that ever happens, I want to share these games with them, not because they're old, but because they're timeless. I know this isn't parenting advice, but honestly, I'll probably start them with something simple, maybe an old Atari, then move on to NES, Super NES, then Nintendo 64. Let them experience the evolution of gaming the same way many of us did. I think that will create memories that they'll never forget. Video games taught me so much more than how to play. They taught me how to solve problems. They even helped me learn English. I still remember playing The Legend of Zelda. I thought all I was doing was running around swinging my sword at enemies. Instead, I got completely lost. I couldn't understand what anyone was saying. Back then, I didn't have walkthroughs. I didn't have YouTube. Didn't have friends who knew the answers. If I wanted to finish the game, I had to learn. So I started reading little by little, word by word. That game became one of the reasons I learned English. That's something I'll never forget. That wasn't the only times game taught me something. As gaming evolved, so did the way we had to think. When we moved from 2D games into fully 3D worlds, everything changed. Suddenly, it wasn't enough to just look left and right. You had to look up, behind you, around corners, pay attention to the camera, and learn how to move through an environment in ways that had never really existed before. The analog stick completely changed how we control games. Puzzle solving became different too. Developers started hiding clues in the environment instead of simply putting them in front of you. Games were no longer testing your reflexes. They were teaching observation, exploration, partial thinking. Looking back now, I don't think we realized we learned those skills when we were just having fun. Video games are also part of computer history. We went from text adventures to 8-bit graphics to Mode 7 to 3D polygons to today incredibly detailed world filled with fixes, motion capture, and cinematic storytelling. Each generation pushes technology forward. Games help drive computers to become faster and more powerful. Preserving those games also preserves that history. I also missed something that physical games gave you. Opening the box for the first time, reading the instruction manual on the drive home, looking at the artwork, sometimes finding a poster inside. That excitement started before you even turned the console on. Today, you buy the game, wait for the download, wait for the installation, wait for the update, then maybe another update is just different. Sony and Microsoft are even selling console without disk drives. I understand why digital is convenient, sales are frequent, but physical games gives player another choice. Sometimes you find an amazing deal in a local store that's cheaper than any digital sale. If your console can't read the disc, that opportunity is gone. On PC, it's different. I don't mind that Macs don't have disk drives anymore. because PC has something unique: options. That's one of the reasons I think PC ports are more important than ever. The more classic games that are preserved and brought to the modern hardware, the more people get to experience them. Right now, Nintendo remains one of the few major console manufacturers still heavily supporting physical releases, and that's something many collectors appreciate. Whether that continues in the future or not, it reminds us that physical media still matters to a lot of players. Sometimes people ask me why I care so much about these projects, why I spend hours testing PC ports, comparing texture packs, and making tutorials, or helping people get the same games running. The answer is simple: because somewhere out there, someone is going to experience this game for the first time the same way I did, and I want them to have that opportunity. Game preservation isn't just about nostalgia, it isn't about refusing to move forward. It's about making sure future generations can experience the game that shaped ours. It's about keeping the gaming history alive. And that's why I cover these projects, not because they're simply cool, but because I truly believe they matter.